Kenny Wayne Shepherd, welcome to Australian Musician.
Hey, thank you.
First of all, how are you coping with this coronavirus lockdown, and what have you been doing to keep yourself active?
Well, my wife and I have 6 children, so that's more than enough to keep us active. Really just been focusing a lot of my time on being present with my wife and kids. We've been doing a lot of things, projects around the house, and we just drove to our house in Louisiana and spent a month down there with my family, and now we're back in California. But most of my time has just been spent trying to create lifelong memories with my kids right now.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice way to spend the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been great. Obviously we can't wait to get back out on the road and play music, because that's what we live to do. And going a little stir crazy not being able to do that, but really enjoying the time at home with the family for sure.
Yeah. You have a new signature Stratocaster coming out, and there it is in your hands. This is not your first signature Strat. Do you still get a buzz out of having your name on a guitar?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I actually got more of a buzz out of having my name on this guitar than the last one, for various reasons. But one of the biggest reasons for me is that the signature is on the headstock right here on the front of the guitar. And when I was a kid, and I went into the guitar stores and saw the very first signature guitars that Fender put out with Eric Clapton and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jeff Beck and Robert Cray and Buddy Guy and all those guys, all their signatures were right here on the front of the guitar, on the headstock. And then, several years back, they started experimenting with other places, and most of the artists' guitars for the past many years have had signatures. Like my last one was on the back of the headstock. Some people put it on the neck plate, all kinds of different places, but they kind of got away from putting them up here. And to me, that was like a dream come true moment. It's like to have my signature on the front of the headstock right there, where the original Signature Series guitars had them.
Yeah, it's almost like your signature was designed to sit there. The symmetry is just perfect.
Well, yeah, they can make it any size they want to. That's the marvels of modern technology. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah. So going back in those early days, did you actually acquire any of those signature guitars?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had a Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar, played many of the Eric Clapton ones, but never actually owned one. I got a Buddy Guy one hanging on the wall over there. So, yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of them over the years. And, I always thought it was very cool to see. I got a Wayne Kramer Strat over there from, if you're familiar with Wayne.
Yeah, they were out here last year.
Yeah, so, I mean, to me, owning and playing another artist's signature guitars, it's a nod of appreciation and respect, but also, you get a window into what that artist likes in their instrument. Yeah, I was very involved in the development of my guitars, both the previous model and this one. And so when you play somebody's signature instrument, essentially you're getting a real hands-on experience, as to what that artist really prefers in their instrument, how they like it set up, and all the features that go into like making a guitar feel right to them.
So, what were the main elements that you wanted Fender to concentrate on with this guitar?
Well, so this guitar, I really wanted it to kind of set it apart from my previous edition. So I didn't want it to be just like a continuation of the same guitar, just that it looked different. I wanted it to actually have its own identity. And so we did that in a number of different ways. I think really the only part of this guitar that the only component that's shared with the previous guitar would be the Graphtec Saddles. Everything else is different. So the body is made of ash, and it's chambered, which makes it more resonant and makes it really noticeably lighter. And so that's cool. That adds to the tone. And it was necessary for the appearance because we did a custom color for this guitar, and they're calling it a translucent sonic blue. So it's kind of maybe hard for you to see but it's translucent. Just very subtly, you can see the grain of the ash coming through the paint. So, it gets like this, it's a really beautiful color, and it's really premium. And so, but the ash body, we did the rosewood slab neck, but, we have block inlays. It's a bound neck. Again, I think it adds to the premium appearance. I wanted this guitar to look, we made a jump from the last one was made in Mexico, which was still a great quality guitar. But this is a significant step up, both in materials and craftsmanship. So I wanted the guitar to reflect that. So you look at it, it's a premium looking instrument, and it's a premium sounding and playing instrument as well. The binding and the block inlays are a nod kind of back to a very limited run of guitars that Fender kind of leaked out of the factory back in 66, 67. They did some binding on some necks, and then they actually did some with binding and block inlays. Not very many of them. And so I always thought it was real interesting, and I love the look, but it's also functional too, because when you're on the stage, the lighting director can throw combinations of lighting that kind of can render the dots on the neck invisible. And so in this situation, there's no way, just about, unless you're in pitch black, there's no way that you can't actually see where you're playing on the neck. So it's functional as well as beautiful. And then the matching headstock, Fender's done that to varying degrees to different guitars over the years. But again, I think it's just that little something extra that makes the guitar look as good as it sounds.
Yeah. Did you play around with different color schemes, or were you set on that particular scheme?
Well, this is exactly what I had pictured in my mind. So the question then became, the color was exactly what I wanted. And so then it was, did we do the bright white, classic parts, the knobs and the pickup covers and the pickguard and the binding, or do we want to do that kind of creamy vintage tint, almost like it's kind of already aged? But in my opinion, I thought the bright white complemented the blue, the baby blue, and then also, those original Strats, when they were brand new, all that stuff was bright white when those guitars were brand new, and then it yellowed over time, and so I just thought, this guitar should mature naturally over time as the person owns it. So, there you have it. It's got all these different things. Visually it's different. The pickups are new and improved. We used the last pickups because we worked 2 years on the sound of those pickups. I was very happy with those. So we used those as like kind of the foundation to build on with these. And so, these are improved in just about every area. They're quieter. They're a little hotter, which makes it more responsive, more dynamic. And then, it has a little bit more totally across the board, low end, mid range, and just a little bit more on the top, except for the bridge pickup, which we dialed back a little bit, because sometimes those can be just a little too harsh. So, yeah, there was every element of this guitar was pretty much touched and changed from the last one.
Yeah. Were there many prototypes involved? A lot of back and forth?
Yeah, there were. So we did one with the cream colored plastics, which was very beautiful, but I just thought this was the better look. We did a 12-inch radius, we did a 9.5-inch radius, and we ended up on a 7.25-inch radius because, that's what my 61 Strat is. This neck is the most accurate reproduction of the neck of my 61 Strat. All the tapering and the feel of it and everything just feels dead on. And so, I figured, my last one was 12-inch radius. It was flatter, and some guys like that because they feel like they can play faster on it. But my 61 Strat, which is my #1 guitar, it's, got vintage specs. So I think all the guys that love vintage Strats, they're going to love playing this guitar. The 7.25, a lot of guys, because Fender's been doing 9.5 for so long on so many production, then they do compounds and all kinds of things now. But that 7.25 is what a lot of people grew up with it. A lot of guys are familiar with that. And with the jumbo frets on it, so, it's really great for chords down here, but when you get up here and you start bending, the frets are big enough that it helps eliminate a lot of the issues that you might have with that curved radius.
Yeah. You've been pretty loyal to the Graphtec saddles. What is it about those that you prefer?
You know what? To me, I've been using them so long, I can't tell you how much they change the sound of the guitar, because I literally, as soon as I get a guitar, I put those saddles on it, whether it's a vintage guitar or it's a brand new guitar. So I can't tell you how, oh, it affects the tone like this or that. What I do know for a fact is that I was breaking strings on a regular basis before, and when I changed to these saddles when I was like 19 years old and I started using them for the first time, it almost eliminated string breakage for me. And I think a lot of it was I played really hard. I hit the guitar really hard. I'm pretty aggressive in my playing approach. And I use heavy strings, and after a while, I think the strings just kind of eat through the nickel plating, and then they kind of wear a groove into the saddle, and then that has a sharp edge to it, and then that becomes almost like a set of wire cutters, man. You hit that thing in the right spot, it just pops the string, and, then you're in the middle of a song struggling, because you broke a string, and the Graphtec saddles have basically eliminated that for me.
Yeah. So this is your first US-made signature guitar. How significant a point is that to you?
Well, I think that, it's significant. I mean, the first one we did, a Mexican-made one, because the intent behind that, we did it on purpose, and we wanted it to be an affordable guitar. Like, we wanted it to realistically be within reach of most players, and in particular, young people, that they could see the guitar and they could, aspire to own it, and that they could realistically save up money, and it wouldn't take them too long before they could afford to purchase the guitar. And we made a really great instrument at a great price point. This guitar, I think, it's nice because I love things that are made in America, and I also love the quality that comes along with Fender guitars that are made in America, and, it also says something about the instrument. It's like people see American-made Strats, Japanese-made Strats like have a certain reputation, for their quality level, and I think this one lives up to that reputation that Fender guitars made in America have.
Yeah, I see in the lockdown video of While We Cry, you're playing the Acoustasonic Strat, which I see is behind you.
Yeah.
What did you think of that guitar?
Well, I think it's really interesting, to be honest with you. It's kind of a fascinating. When I first played it, I didn't know what to expect, but it surprised me in a number of ways. So obviously, it's a really great instrument. If you want that acoustic sound, if you're going to play in a live setting and you plug in. I mean, essentially, all acoustic guitars sound very similar when they're plugged into a DI. It's just that pickup system that everybody uses that kind of sounds the same across the board. So then it becomes, so the real natural sound of an acoustic really shines in the studio. So if you're in a live environment and you got to plug it in like that, then it becomes really more about playability of the instrument. It's like, is this thing fighting you? Because acoustics are known for like being difficult to play, and so it really is a comfortable instrument to play. And it's very versatile, so, they have a number of different sounds and tones that you can dial in, that really makes it a versatile guitar, so you can do more than just, acoustic sounding stuff. Like, you can see my demo video that I did for Fender, like, we're kind of rocking out there. We wanted to kind of showcase that you can do more than, we started off with the acoustic sound, and then busted off into some, like, rock and blues stuff, and then wound it back up with the acoustic sound again to show, kind of what the full range of what the guitar could do. But I thought it was a pretty cool instrument for sure. And for a guy who's got a gig and he's got to play a ton of cover songs in a restaurant or in a bar or something like that, and he needs to go quickly from something acoustic to being able to do something electric, you got everything right there in one package.
Yeah. What about Copper Boy? Will we ever see that in mass production?
I hope so. So I've been talking to those guys. I don't know about mass production, but we've been talking about doing. And we'll see, but obviously all the focus and the attention is on this guitar right now.
Yeah.
But I've been talking with Fender about doing, at the very least, a number of limited run guitars, and Copper Boy would definitely be one of those. So, like, whether we do a replica of my 61 Strat, a limited run of Copper Boy guitars, the Crossroads Strat that we developed as well. A lot of really cool opportunities to build some guitars, do a limited run, so they're really special, and everybody has an opportunity to get their hands on one, quickly, and be in an exclusive group that has a very special guitar.
Yeah. Last time I spoke to you was in 2017 over the phone. You just released Lay It On Down, and you told me that you'd pretty much finished the next album, which I guess was The Traveller. In lockdown, have you been writing and recording much? Do you have one or two albums ready to go?
Yeah, well, we got lucky. We had just finished a new record right like the week before they locked everything down. So that was good because, to be honest with you, I haven't felt inspired particularly to write music right now. I've been really inspired more to spend time connecting with my kids and being there for them. And I feel like, in times like this, if I'm going to write some music that comes out of this experience, it's going to come after we've been through it, gotten to the other side of it, and been able to process it. Because I think a lot of times I just have to watch where I'm coming from musically, and like you get wrapped up in what's going on. There's so many bizarre things happening today, and it's such a weird environment we're living in that I don't want to be preachy to anybody, and I don't want to write some anthem about being locked up, and stuff like that. So it's like, got to get to the other side of it and then see, what the more organic message is that comes out of this for me.
Yeah. Last time I did talk to you, it was because you were coming to Australia. What are your memories of that tour?
Oh, man, it was great. And, like we were getting geared up to come back again. And it's just really interesting how much this situation's put everything on hold. But yeah, the tour was fantastic, and the turnout and all the places that we went to was really good. And I felt like we had really laid the groundwork to come back and build, on the audience that we have now, and make it even bigger and really gain some momentum. So I'm still looking forward to doing that. I mean, obviously Australia is a priority for me. My wife is Australian, my family, her family's there. I would love nothing more than to play there enough, so that I could bring the wife and kids and we could spend some significant amount of time there. So that's the goal for me, is to keep coming back and playing and for the people of Australia and making it so that it's a regular part of my schedule.
Yeah. What about the rides? Have you been in touch with those guys?
Yeah, I talked to Barry and Steven at the beginning of this thing, and then, obviously nobody's doing a whole lot of anything right now. We were talking about, getting back together and doing some more writing and maybe working towards another album. All that stuff's been put on hold right now, so, we'll see. I've also just been incredibly productive and busy with my own stuff. And, I know Steven's been doing a lot of things around his house and personal things. So with that band, it's always been, getting our schedules open at the same time to make it work. So I think that's the only obstacle to overcome. It's just obviously getting beyond this situation and then finding the opening in our schedules.
Yeah. At the moment, you have October dates lined up for the US. Are you concerned about going out at the moment?
You know what? I'm not that concerned about it. I mean, obviously, you just have to be smart. You gotta, be responsible. Everybody has their own opinions. I don't get in. Unfortunately, this has all become very political. Yeah. And I'm totally anti-politics. I don't get involved in politics. It's a lose-lose situation. So, but I'm not worried about it. I feel like if you take the appropriate precautionary measures, you're responsible for yourself and for anybody else that you're responsible for. I mean, we should be able to live our lives, and there ought to be a way to be able to continue on, and I think that's possible. I mean, we just went to Louisiana. We drove from California to Louisiana, halfway across this country, spent a month there, just drove back, and, we felt comfortable the whole time doing it because we were doing, I think, what we needed to do to feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah. When you look back at your career, what are you most proud of?
Man, that's really hard to say. Frankly, I'm just proud to be sitting here talking to you today. Like, the fact that you or anybody is still interested in what Kenny Wayne Shepherd is doing today is just fantastic to me. There's been a lot of high moments in my career, but I think ultimately, just cumulatively, the thing to be most proud of is to have gained a fan base of people who have been with me now for almost 30 years through all of it, and continue to enable me to do what I love to do. Without them, none of it would be possible. And so I think that's probably the thing to be most proud of, because that's the thing that has gotten me to this point and continues to carry me forward.
Yeah. And next time you go out, you'll have a beautiful new guitar to show us.
That's right, man. That's the plan.
All right, Kenny, I'll let you go, man. It's been great to chat, and we look forward to seeing you back here in Australia one day.
Thank you very much. I hope it's soon.
Okay, man. Catch you later.